my dad's just been teaching me how to lift ever since I was young. And most people only get that physical education from PE, which is not always the greatest because they're like, oh, throw this ball around for 45 minutes.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Solid Podcast. Jeff and I are excited to be with you today. We got a special guest, Spencer Dent. He's a young man, 18 years old, super strong. I've seen this young man at the gym since he was like 11 years old, 12 years old. And we had a great discussion today. Hopefully, as you hear his message, you'll kind of get an idea of what makes him who he is today. He's got a great household. His mom and dad have done a good job, I think. He's got great siblings. And we talk diet. We talk getting stronger. We talk what it takes to stay on the straight and narrow.
Yeah,
and
he is
good, right?
Yeah, he is running towards his dream of becoming an Olympic medalist. And you're going to learn a lot today from this podcast. I think that, he gives so much advice and knowledge and insight on really what it takes to go achieve anything in life. And hearing it from an 18-year-old is impressive.
It is.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So check it out today. Hope you enjoy it. Share it with other people. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. And we appreciate all your support out there. We do have an exciting Solid 30 challenge we're launching this next week, so stay tuned. We'll let you in on that as well. Better than 75 hard. Way better. Yeah, way better. It's going to be fun too. So anyway, guys, until next time, stay solid. Good to have you on.
Thank you.
And you just turned 18. How long have you been 18?
Just 6 months.
So just barely. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, good to have you on. For those that don't know, they can check out your Instagram because it's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
What is it? Spencer Detonator?
Yeah, Spencer_Detonator_.
Yeah. And if people check that out, just so everybody kind of knows, I asked you to be on today for a bunch of reasons, but one of the reasons is we meet a lot of people at the gym because they're disciplined and they're focused. And you've been going to the gym since you were what? 12? 11 with your dad.
Yeah.
And religiously. Like all the time?
Yeah, mostly from 11 to 13, it was kind of like on and off, but it was probably at least 3 days a week. But once I hit 14, that's when I started going 6 days a week. And I've been doing that ever since pretty much.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
And you just love it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just got the WSO national champion?
No,
or
no,
how does
no. It's what is it? Mountain South Weightlifting State Organization. So it's Utah, New Mexico, Nevada, and Arizona.
Okay.
It's like our regionals kind of.
Yes.
And that's what I won. Yeah.
So you were the strongest out of all those people.
Yeah, the strongest under 20, 96 kilo boy in all four of those
That's
states.
Pretty wild, man.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So like.
And what exercises are you doing? And these are powerlifting, I'm guessing?
Weightlifting.
Okay.
So the difference between powerlifting and weightlifting is powerlifting has the 3 movements: squat, bench, deadlift.
Yep.
And weightlifting has the snatch and the clean and jerk. So that's what you see in the Olympics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
awesome.
So what kind of weights do you have to move to be competing?
Well, you can compete at any strength level, but if you want the first competition that you can compete in that requires a total that you have to meet before you can compete is nationals.
Okay.
And for my age and weight group, it was 222 kilos, which times that by 2.205, and that's how many pounds?
400 and some odd, yeah.
450. So out of the snatch and the clean and jerk, you have to total
450.
Yeah, it's a little bit over 450. I think it's like 460.
Which a snatch is like straight from the ground overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough
Dude.
to get 200. So you're probably doing 200 plus pounds.
Yeah.
How much are you snatching right now?
My snatch is 265 pounds.
Dang, that's amazing.
Then my clean and jerk is 315 pounds.
Awesome.
How much do you weigh?
Dude.
210
Oh my gosh.
is my competition weight.
Now your dad's a big boy too.
Yeah.
So was he a football player? Did he do the same stuff you did? What?
Actually, in high school, he was a pretty scrawny dude. He was tall, but I think he said he was like 165 pounds, 6'2".
Yeah.
So not super big. Yeah. But then he went on his LDS mission and he got up to like 220 and grew to 6'4".
Whoa.
Yeah, he went to Ohio, so they fed him good there.
Yeah. Corn-fed boys.
Yeah.
Farmer
They're
boys.
They're all big out there.
They're all big.
Something in the water and the corn for sure.
Yeah, and
that's the secret. Spent a couple years in Ohio, huh?
Mm-hmm. So then he came home and started doing landscaping and got down to like 185, and then he just slowly got up to like 235, which was when he was like 45.
Okay.
And 44. Yeah, because that's when I started going to the gym with him, and we both dieted, and he got down to 210, and I was 140 at 11.
Oh, you were?
I was kind of chunky. I got down to 120.
Is that what they call it now? Chunky? If you're 140 at 11, dude, I think I was 140 when I was 18.
Yeah, right.
How tall are you now?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
And you're still growing, dude. You got another few years.
Maybe. I haven't gotten any inches on my height since 8th grade.
What size shoe do you wear?
A 10 in Nikes, but
okay.
Yeah, so maybe. Yeah, I'm 6'1", and I wear a size 10.
You know what they say about people with big shoes? They have big feet. Right?
Yeah, my feet haven't grown since 8th grade either.
I won't say anything.
Well, it's true. So, yeah. Okay, so I want to know, because we always want to get bigger, faster, stronger, right? And you see me there. I don't lift as much as you do, obviously, right? And I use bands. You guys probably laugh at me because I use a lot of bands.
No, bands are great.
Okay, good.
He's in the Pilates class, really.
Yeah, right. Now.
You see him through the window.
Yeah, I do weights too, but anyways, I like bands actually because I can travel with them and stuff. But so we always want to get bigger, faster, stronger. So I kind of want to find out like what it takes to do all that. I mean, you've started. Obviously, it seems like consistency and time, but maybe give us a blueprint of what it would take for somebody to go, man, I would love to increase the amount of weight I can lift. Really, just increase your strength. I mean, everything from diet to lifts. What is it? What's to you? What's made some of the biggest differences with your fitness?
Well, like you said, it's a lot of consistency and dedication, not necessarily motivation. You're not always motivated to go to the gym, but you have to be dedicated and go anyways. And it's a lot of the same things over and over again. It's a lot of squats. It's a lot of overhead presses, a lot of bench presses, a lot of deadlifts. That's just general strength. If you're specifying like I am in the snatch and clean and jerk, it's a lot of different movements that you learn when you get into that area that help train different aspects of your lifts. But if you're just working on getting as strong as possible generally, the big four are a really good place to just focus on: squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press.
Okay.
And so,
so on that topic, I've noticed a lot, because tell me what you think. So I had a goal about a year ago. I was 161 pounds. I had a goal to get to 200. I've always had a hard time gaining weight. Like I'm like, I got to eat as much as possible, still have a hard time. I heard someone say that you do those big four and you do 5 sets of 5 and increase weight by 5. We were talking about this. Mm-hmm. And I just broke my goal. So I started 75 hard about 65 days ago. And just broke 200 pounds, and then notice my strength. When you tell somebody to start there on those big four, is that where you started? Do you practice those? Why do you think those make such a big impact on someone's strength? Because I've noticed that for sure, but I don't know why. I just heard someone told me I did it and it worked.
It's a lot of the how you set it up as well, because if you do a lot of reps, too many reps, it's not going to contribute that much to your strength. It'll contribute a lot to your muscular endurance, but not your strength. Mm-hmm. And so like that 5 sets of 5 you're talking about is kind of based off of this book by, what's his name? I don't remember his name, but it's called Starting Strength. And he starts, it's a book about training beginners on how to get stronger from day zero. And at the end of the book, it gives you a program to follow. It starts you off at 3 sets of 5 at all the big movements.
Yeah.
And then it slowly increases that volume. That's called progressive overload.
Yeah.
So that's progressive overload is the way you get stronger.
Right.
Continually trying harder and harder in the gym.
So like basically what if someone's listening to this, it's every time you go to the gym, if you can do more than 5 reps, you should be increasing your weight and continually staying in that rep range, right?
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to progressively overload. There's volume and intensity. There's rest time. There's bands.
So these are awesome things. So rest time. So these are awesome things. These are things that I've heard and tried to do but again, don't have a lot of science. And honestly, I've never really read a lot about it. But one of the things I've heard as well is but if you want to increase your overall strength, meaning I want to take my bench press from 200 pounds to 300 pounds, that not only should I be increasing the weight weekly and staying in that low rep range, but I should also increase my rest time in between sets. Is that right?
Yeah. So
what's the reasoning behind that? Do you know?
So if you increase your rest, then that allows more time for your body to recover, obviously. And with strength exercises, it's a lot of fast twitch muscle fibers being used, which use glycogen, which is stored glucose in your muscle for energy. It's very fast energy, very efficient energy. And then the difference between fast twitch and slow twitch is the endurance muscles.
Okay.
And they don't grow very big. So that's why you see the marathon runners.
They're long and lean.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that uses cellular respiration to get most of its energy. Cellular respiration is a lot more effective at creating energy, but it's not as fast. And so that's why you're like breathing really hard.
Or like a sprinter. If you go watch track, right? They compete in the same sport, but someone who sprints might have quads that are huge. And
huge legs.
Yeah, and then the marathon runner, looks like Brandon. No. No, but that really, I mean, is that what explains, is that why they look different? Because of the way their body uses energy?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we all have both fast twitch and slow twitch, but it's what you train that gets the stimulus and grows and improves. And so increasing that rest time allows for the glycogen stores to recover. Yeah. And the carbs in your body, that's what creates the glucose for your muscles. So that's why you carbo load.
So great question. So what if you don't eat carbs?
If you don't eat carbs, there's still glycogen stores that will last a while.
Because your liver produces, is that correct? Is that where it comes from? Do you know?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Okay. I was just wondering if I'm not trying to, I don't expect you to know it all. I'm just wondering.
If you're all
you lift twice as much as either of us. So we'll listen to you.
I'm seriously just
and you're 18.
Trying to learn. Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
But if you're all out of glycogen, then your body starts transforming fat into glycogen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of people want to get to.
Yeah, your fat is your energy stores.
Yeah.
So does size and strength always go together?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Usually if you train for strength, you will get bigger. But then you see some guys in the Olympics, like there's a bunch of weight classes for reasons. There's the 109 pluses, which are 240 pound plus. And then there's the 55 kilo guys, which are 110 pounds.
Yeah.
They could all lift more than me.
Really?
Yeah.
In the Olympics, yes, they could all lift more than me.
No way.
I'm not kidding. Those 110 pound guys, they're like, does it go down to 55 for guys? I'm not sure.
Wow.
But everybody in the Olympics can lift more than me. They're insane.
Wow. How much of it has to do with form?
A lot. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and technique.
A lot.
Where do you learn that?
Coaches.
Yeah.
And they learn it from their coaches, and they learn it from the internet, I guess.
Who's coached you mostly?
Ryan Otterson.
Okay. Local guy here?
Yeah. So, CrossFit Zion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there's a barbell team there.
Okay.
And Ryan Otterson is the coach, and there's also Ryan Dana. He's a coach.
Okay.
But I've learned most of my technique from Ryan Otterson.
How many hours a week are you putting in right now?
Ooh, I don't track the hours, but let's see.
Do you go more off of the time, or do you go more off of how you feel for training?
I just go off the program that Ryan gives me.
So that's awesome.
I train 8 times a week.
I love that because you just said something so powerful, dude, because it doesn't matter if it applies to business or whatever. You say, I don't track the time. And I think in business, a lot of people that don't succeed in a big way, they're always telling you how much they've done, how little results, or how much time they've invested or whatever. Versus if you just have a goal, you don't even care. Yeah. You're just trying to hit the goal, right?
You just do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, dude. I love that.
Good.
So you're training 8 times a week. So sometimes you're doing 2 days because you're working out 6 days a week.
So I have Sunday is my rest day. I used to have 2 rest days. But right now, Sunday's my rest day. And then I train twice on Monday and twice on Wednesday.
What are the difference on those days? Why 2 days on those days?
It's just different. I don't know.
Is it like one of them? So those 2 days are like one of them like a lighter technique training day, and then you increase weight or something later on, or are they movement trainings, or?
I don't know the specifics behind my program since I wasn't the one who created it.
Yeah.
But on Mondays are usually my hardest day of the week.
Yeah.
And so I do squats in the morning right now. And then in the afternoon, I do block snatches and what is it called? Snatch balances.
Okay.
And there's a few other accessory stuff in there, but those are the main movements of the exercises. And so I guess the morning is dedicated to squats, and then in the afternoon, it's technique stuff.
Awesome. So what's your goal? Is your goal to become an Olympic weightlifter?
Yeah.
Awesome.
A lot of weightlifters think that or Worlds is usually bigger than Olympics.
Yeah.
And but from somebody outside of the sport, originally it's like the Olympics is the goal.
Yeah.
And Worlds happens every year. Olympics only happens every 4 years. So if I can be the best in America, then I'll end up on the Olympic team. And so my goal is the 2028 Olympics. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's cool.
Right on.
Have you ever read a book called No Limits by Michael Phelps?
No.
You should read it, dude. It's a really good book just about his journey. It's not necessarily about swimming, but his journey to the Olympics. I think it'd be awesome for you to read. I know it helped me in business.
No.
Is your journey to the Olympics. That's cool, man. Well, I look forward to seeing you make it happen, dude.
No kidding.
Thank you.
What's your diet like?
A lot of protein and a lot of eggs. Eggs are really good for you.
Superfood.
Yeah. They got the perfect ratio of amino acids for your body.
Yeah.
I agree. I eat about 8 or 10 a day.
Wow. That's a lot.
How many you eat?
4 to 6.
All right.
Yeah, I don't eat that much, but I do like.
It's not cheap anymore to eat that many eggs, though.
It's not.
So it makes you question it sometimes. When
I first started dieting with my dad at the beginning, we did keto, which probably isn't the best way to lose weight, but that's what we did. And eggs were a lot cheaper back then.
Yeah.
We ate a lot more eggs back then.
Right.
So you eat eggs. So tell us, what do you eat for breakfast?
I usually have toast, eggs, protein drink, sometimes bacon, sometimes turkey.
So some additional protein.
Yeah.
And then how many meals do you eat in a day?
I don't track a lot.
No?
You're hungry, you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just make sure that pretty much everything I eat has at least a sufficient amount of protein in it.
So you track protein first. So this is interesting because somebody asked me the other day, because I've been on this journey going from 160 to 200. I just had that goal. I just wanted to get to 200. I said, are you tracking calories? I'm like, no. I just track one thing. Do I get 200 grams of protein a day? And that's all that really matters. And it seems to have worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I hit the goal.
When I bulk, I don't like to track my calories because then I realize how much I'm eating. And I'm like, holy moly.
How many calories is it usually if you do track?
If I'm bulking, it's 4,100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just track the protein and I go, wow, that's a lot of protein. I'm super strong. Yeah. But if I do cut, I do track my calories because you need to be able to track your calories in order to lose weight efficiently and reliably.
Predictably.
Yeah. And so usually off season, I'm 5 to 10 pounds heavier than my competition weight. And so I do have to cut every time I compete.
How long is the season?
Oh, a season. I don't know why I use the word season, because it's just whenever there's a competition.
Okay, so if you have a competition coming up, then you start paying attention. I need this many calories because I have to weigh a certain amount to know what category I'm competing in or weight class.
So my next competition is nationals, and that's in June. I think I'm competing on the 30th, and that's in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty cool. Last year it was in Vegas, and the venue was kind of
so. Yeah.
And so this year is going to be a lot cooler.
Yeah, at the Olympic Training Center. That'll be awesome.
It will. Yeah. So rule of thumb, get the protein in.
Yeah, get the protein in.
Fill everything else around that. Yeah. But that's top priority.
Protein.
Yeah. So do you think that, like, when you're looking at a meal, can you kind of look at it now and say, oh, I think this has about this much protein, or do you need to track it? Do you need something? Like, do you use MyFitnessPal or something like that? How do you know?
Yeah, I use MyFitnessPal, but I don't think I'd be able to look at a plate and be like, yeah, that has 40 grams of protein.
Yeah, okay.
Right. I'm not that.
Yeah.
Not that skilled.
I've tried to do things just to keep it easy. So I eat the carnivore diet. So I eat eggs and meat. That's pretty much. But now I just realize, like, if I eat a 1 pound ribeye, it's about 100 grams of protein. And I think an egg is 6 grams of protein. So if I eat 6 eggs, I'm getting 36
special protein
grams.
eyes.
Well, not even that. Just so much, like, if I go to a restaurant and I go, oh, it's a 12-ounce steak. I'm like, all right, I pretty much know how much protein is in this, and might order 2 of them. You know.
So here's what I want to know, because you're 18. So a lot of people listening to this are a lot older than you, right? Some are going to be young too, but I'm 44. So I probably couldn't eat the same as you would eat, and maybe I could. I don't know. I don't know exactly how you eat. But is there a difference between how your dad's 50?
Yeah,
so I just turned 50, right? So your dad's 50. Is there a difference in how he eats and you eat, or do you guys eat pretty much the same type of stuff? Because you both lift together. You both work out similar.
Dude, I don't know your dad. Or is their body type similar?
His dad's taller than you, right?
Yeah, he's 4 inches taller.
But still slim and great shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got my mom's legs, though.
Because not all
strong.
Yeah.
Not all weightlifters.
Why don't my legs look like yours?
Not all weightlifters are trim.
No.
Like, dude, when I was in high school, our weight training coach, dude, he had this gut. But you would hit him in the gut, and it was solid.
Yeah,
it was big.
It
was solid.
It was big.
Oh my
we should have had your dad here with you.
I asked him.
Did you?
He was like, I don't think he'll be able to make it.
We'll get him on next time for sure. Well, so
here's his dad.
Show. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is his diet pretty similar to you when you guys eat?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. He just eats less.
Okay.
Because he likes to be lean all the time, and I'm not really for aesthetics because I'm just trying to get as strong as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my little.
So he is aesthetically like that. That's what he's doing it for. Where you have this goal.
Yeah, he's mostly just doing it to look good.
So do you guys have the same? Do you guys lift together?
In the mornings, yeah.
So I think that's great because not only is a father working out with his son awesome, but I think also you can do a very similar thing together for a totally different result, really, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Cool. So next question. Mental, I guess, where did you learn this mentality of discipline and focus, and how does it help you? I mean, obviously you're an athlete. How does that help you in other areas of your life?
Well, I think it came from just years of practicing and realizing that if I want to get stronger, I have to go, even if I don't want to. And it helps me in other aspects of my life because in a way that, I don't know.
Do you think you're just wired that way, or do you think you've learned how to do this?
I think I've learned how to do this because, like I said, I was 140 pounds when I was 11, so I wasn't like super dedicated to anything except for video games.
Yeah.
And was there something that like clicked? Like, I'm not going to
someone bully you?
Yeah, I mean, anything
you made
like
fun
that?
of or something?
No, I just didn't want to be a chubby boy. I was like, I don't like this because I was always athletic from a young age. My mom said I had the delt separation when I was like 5-year-old, and I played soccer my whole childhood. And I quit that right before we moved down here, which was in 2015.
Okay.
And how old were you at that point?
I was 9 when we moved.
So you stopped playing soccer at 9. So between 9 and 11, you gained a bunch of weight.
Oh, yeah.
What changed?
I just stopped playing sports because I didn't get back into soccer.
You stopped moving. So what did you replace that with? Video games?
Yeah.
Okay. Why you didn't? When you moved here, you didn't have friends, or what do you think changed the lifestyle?
I'm pretty much not really a outgoing guy all that much.
Yeah.
I'd say what's the word?
Introverted?
I'd say I'm extroverted.
Okay.
I'm just not searching for.
You're confident in who you are.
Yeah, I'm pretty chill, just sitting at my house with my family.
And you like hanging out with older people, I think, too. I think you just like you're a mature young man. I think. I mean, just observing. I don't know, but yeah.
I think hanging out with a lot of kids my age, I'm like usually like, what are we doing right now? We're just sitting on your couch looking at our phones. Like, this is kind of boring. So,
yeah, they don't have a lot. Yeah, a lot of kids your age probably don't have goals they're chasing or something they're actively pursuing.
Or they're doing something dumb.
Yeah,
which I'm like, I don't want to participate.
Which I think is wise for sports. So yesterday I was meeting with these two guys, and they're both high-level soccer coaches actually in town, and you know my kids are all in sports, and they asked, like, what is your goals for your kids putting them in sports? And I said, really, I just want to be athletes, because I think what you were just saying, and this is why anybody listening, whether you're young and listening to it or you have kids, I think the reason why athletics is so important is because it makes you think that way, where like on Friday night, where if you're going to wake up and go to the gym on Saturday morning, you're going to make different decisions on Saturday or
makes
Friday
you think
night.
about what's best for you.
Yeah.
Rather than what you want to do.
Yes, exactly.
Which I agree with your point completely. I feel like a lot of the reason why I am successful in my sport right now and athletic, and a lot of people are like, whoa, Spencer, how do you get so strong? How do you get so buff? And I'm like, I think it's mostly just because I had the education from when I was younger. My mom told me to go to the gym with my dad when I was like, well, I don't want to be fat.
Yeah.
She's like, you have a gym membership, start going with your dad. And my dad's just been teaching me how to lift ever since I was young. And most people only get that physical education from PE, which is not always the greatest because they're like, oh, throw this ball around for 45 minutes.
Right.
So has that helped you build a stronger relationship with your dad?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that's important too, because, you know, a lot of times, let me ask you this. Do you notice that your dad looks different physically than most other dads?
Yes.
Okay. Because this drives
he doesn't seem to think so, though.
It drives me crazy, right? Because I see most men in society today are overweight, docile, just weak examples. And I don't
Low
think,
test.
Yeah, they don't realize it, right? Yeah, they walk around like Gumby. And I don't think they realize it. But the sad thing is I don't think they realize the impact that has on the relationship and the future of their sons' lives.
Yeah.
You know, so it's cool to hear you talk about that relationship with your father and then noticing how much different he is, even if he doesn't notice it, how much different he is than other dads. And I'm sure, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like growing up, I'm sure now, you know, you're more mature and confident in yourself, but growing up, did it make you like proud of your dad? Like, this is my dad, I'm proud of him because he's different, he's strong. Did it make you feel more confident?
I've always been proud of my dad because he's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
And everybody's always like, your dad's kind of scary. And I'm like, he's kind of not scary once you get to know him. He's kind of a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
But they're like, he's like so over like the top of you, like, hello, my name's Jason.
He's a big guy,
huge
muscular
buff guy.
Yeah.
And he's always like, oh, why are my legs so small compared to yours, Spencer?
Yeah.
Or like, I want a six-pack so bad. I'm like, you have one.
Yeah.
Stop complaining, dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen every other 50-year-old dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
True.
I mean, it's cool because, I think your friends realize that, you know, it's not that he's intimidating. It's that he's actually being an example of what a man should be and being able to protect his family. And, you know, you feel proud of him because you feel like, I have a strong dad. It's awesome. I hope that anybody listening to this, if they're not the kind of people that are going to the gym every day, realizing just that one little act that your dad was doing, and who knows why, you know, why he was going to the gym every day. It's probably because he wanted to look good. That how much of an impact that's had in your life and your relationship and all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
I'd definitely say I have the strongest relationship with my dad out of every other one of my siblings as well. Yeah. And I was the only one that goes to the gym with him every day.
Yeah. Does that help you stay on the straight and narrow path, so to speak, too? Just because you have that relationship and you want to probably model what he's done, I would imagine.
Yeah. It does make you, when you have a good relationship with somebody and respect for somebody, it does make you want to be better for them as well as for yourself. Mm-hmm. And so
he's earned that respect because of the way he lives and the way he operates. And I think that's important.
Do you also feel like that you allow him maybe to influence you a little bit more than maybe your siblings do because you're there with him so much and because you've seen his help probably in you growing in your sport, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is.
I think there's I think it's from the 48 Laws of Power. I can't remember what book it's from, but they said that you are a what's the word? I can't remember.
Combination
of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
And so when you spend a lot of time with somebody that's as cool as my dad, you get pretty cool as well.
Yep. It's awesome. Yeah, I was very blessed. I had a good relationship with my dad too. It's one of the things that I would say contributed to me like being a pretty good kid. I didn't want to, we had a good relationship with him, wanted to be like him, so I think that's important.
Statistic. I mean, that is a proven fact, right? So I didn't have a great relationship with my dad. My dad wasn't around when I was young, and so I made the decision that I wanted to be that person, right? But it's a fact, right? Mm-hmm. Young boys that grow up in single parent households, especially, I mean, most of them are single mothers, right? The odds of them being incarcerated are like, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's
a lot more.
Yeah, it's ridiculously more.
And that's why you see so much more like gang activity and just like delinquent activity in the slums and
making stupid decisions. Yeah.
One guy made a stupid decision, accidentally had a kid, left, and now the kids have making stupid decisions.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have that guidance in his life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what advice would you give to someone who's younger? Like Jeff said, for example, he didn't have that relationship with his dad growing up, and there's a lot of kids out there that maybe don't have that relationship with their dad. Maybe they're not doing the most productive things. Maybe they're playing a lot of video games. Maybe they're doing some drugs. Maybe who knows what they're doing, right? What advice would you give to young men and women that are up and coming in high school to maybe get on a good path, a more healthy path? Anything that, I mean, we're talking about a lot of stuff that you've done and you're doing. Anything that you see with these other young men and young women that you go, man, if they would just do these few things, their life would turn around. Any advice you would give?
Well, you want to take care of your body and find something that you love doing and do it. That's pretty much it. Like, if you have something that you really love doing that you want to do for the rest of your life, then there's nothing that really can stop you from doing that. And so all these temptations seem obsolete when there's this goal for the future.
Yes.
That you'd rather have than instant gratification.
Yep. I love how you said take care of your body, because I think if we would do that, good diet, which when I was in high school, I didn't have a great diet. I'd drink a ton of soda. I would eat whatever I wanted, and I got away with it because I just had a high metabolism. But I'm sure that if I was more conscious of that, I don't think my brain was.
But on that point, let me ask you a question on that point, because Kelsey and I were talking about this today. When we're young, we tend to do that. But yet, were you excited to wake up in the morning and go to school? Were you always that? Because I know you've always been that guy since I've known you.
I don't know, man. I didn't like school, but I was pretty excited about life in general.
So on Saturday morning, were you still up and you still up at 6 a.m.?
No, I mean, I would sleep in because it would be out late Friday night.
So that's what I wonder. So we were talking about this. I wonder, because most kids, and give me your input on this as well, most kids that are having that, we say that, like, oh, yeah, we can get away with it. But I wonder if we really do, because I was the same way. I just kind of, I remember I was a boxer for a lot, and I was burning so many calories. I would just be eating milkshakes and hamburgers and just as much calories as I get. Otherwise,
McDonald's every day, man.
I'd just be falling
Double
asleep.
Cheeseburger meal, yeah.
But I remember I would do weight training. I always try to make that my first period of school, so I could just wake up and, I was in my basketball shorts and a tank top, and I just go straight to school.
Get into it, wake up.
Yep. And so I tried to do that a lot. I also we had a program called 0 Hour, which was like weight training with the football team before school. And so I always did that. But I always remember how groggy I felt in the morning. So I did it because I was motivated and I wanted to be there. But I also remember, like, at the end of the day in school, I was 17 years old, like falling asleep in class. Mm-hmm. And so I wonder if, we felt okay because we just were willing to push ourselves. And the older we get, the more we go, you know what? I always make fun of my wife. She's always planning how tired she's going to be tomorrow. Like, it's so late, I'm going to be so tired. I go, how do you know how you're going to feel tomorrow?
That's a good point.
She does, right? And
then you wear yourself out worrying about being tired tomorrow. Yeah. I do that all the time.
So I'm just like, I don't know. I'll know how I feel tomorrow. But so give me your feedback on that, because your diet is really well. But has there ever been times you slipped up? Because you're 18. So has there ever been times you slipped up and you felt like, man, I just didn't feel as good, or I didn't feel like waking up, or I didn't have as much energy in the gym, or I didn't feel like giving up my all? Do you feel like that sometimes if you slip up on your diet?
Yeah, usually it's when I do feel like that, I slipped up on sleep.
Okay.
Because most of the food in our house is my mom's very health conscious. Buys everything organic, grass-fed, free range, everything like that. So it's kind of hard to slip up on your diet
when your mom's cooking meals.
But if we go out to like the movies and drink like a huge soda, I usually don't feel very good after that.
It affects you.
Yeah.
So
you notice that when you do live a healthy lifestyle. When you live unhealthily, you don't really notice.
See, that's the difference. See, I think I was always just eating whatever, and so I never thought I felt bad. Like I never really, and I think you're right. Yeah, I didn't get away with it, but I thought I was getting away with it because I never felt real bad that I remember.
Yeah, you didn't know what it was like.
Until I was in my mid-20s. In my mid-20s, I started going, I need to fix some of this stuff.
I actually think that's how I've been like the last 12 or 18 months, which is why I asked you that, which is why, Kelsey and I just had this conversation, because I didn't know I could feel this good. I don't think I ever really felt great. I was an athlete and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think I ever really felt that great because I was just eating whatever. Another question I just noticed on something you said, your mom making these meals. How often does your family sit down and have a meal together?
Oh, well, I didn't say that she makes meals. She buys all organic food. We all eat pretty differently.
Okay.
And so
it's okay, Mom.
It's okay.
It's okay. I was just wondering.
She's always like, I wish I could make dinner for you guys more often, and we could all eat together more often.
And families, we were talking about this yesterday. This is why I asked, because some families are just, Brandon was talking about, he has teenagers, and sometimes it's just not as easy to actually sit down and have a meal. I'm crazy about my family sitting down and eating together.
Yeah.
And so it's okay. I'm just wondering, is that something that you guys do? How often does it happen that you guys sit down and eat a meal together as a family?
At least once a week, usually Saturday or Sunday evening.
Okay. And your family, are they pretty intentional about doing that, or it just kind of happens to where you guys are all there?
If my mom makes a meal, we're all there.
Okay.
So it's like,
awesome. Cool.
So it's, yeah.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Pretty fun too.
Mom made food, so everybody's showing up.
We're like, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
How many siblings do you have?
3. I have 3 sisters.
Okay. All younger?
2 older, 1 younger.
Okay.
Awesome. You're right in the middle.
Well, that's awesome, man. What else you want to ask him? It's been good today.
Yeah, it has. It's been awesome. Another thing that I was going to ask you, you made a couple of comments. So you talked about a book, the 48 Laws of Power. Obviously, you're reading books.
I do read a little bit. I don't read
more than most.
A little bit is more than almost everybody, right? So why? What is your motivation behind reading? Where did you start? Why did you start? Because I think reading is the most underrated thing that somebody can do for success in anything in life. It doesn't matter what your endeavor is. They go, why listen to audiobooks? It's just not the same, right? So sitting down and reading a book and getting your mind better, right? We talked about yesterday, mental fitness. We're getting ready to launch this program called Solid 30, which is why we were talking about the meals yesterday. It was just part of our conversation. But part of fitness, I believe, is not just our physical fitness. You talked about sleep, that's important, but also mental fitness, as we were talking about yesterday. So how did that process begin for you of wanting to self-improve?
Well, when it came to reading books, I don't remember where I heard it from, but I heard that life is like a video game and there's a bunch of cheat codes and people that have already played the video game before and they already have the cheat codes. So they've written them down.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. I was like, I want the cheat codes.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's awesome. Learning wisdom, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really what wisdom is, I think. And that's one reason, I study Proverbs a lot because, there's very few places in the world you can go get as much wisdom from, than Proverbs. And so that's a great thing. I think, wisdom is the cheat code to life. And if you can get it from somebody else that's been through it before you, what a great piece of advice. So it wasn't your parents or anything. You just heard, was it on social media? Like where did
I
you?
don't remember where I heard it from.
And
But people my whole life have been telling me to read books, and I'm like, I hate reading.
Yep.
So most of the time I do listen to audiobooks when I do.
Yeah.
Which is still good.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So your goal is the Olympics 2028. What else? What else is coming up in the near future? What are you planning on? Do you look career-wise? Are you, what's some of your plans
In
that
the
way?
immediate future, nationals in June or July. Well, last year I was in the D group, so they go off of a bunch of different groups. If you're just barely qualifying for nationals, you're in the D group, which is the bottom group. This year I'm going to be in the A group, so I'm hopefully going to podium this year. That's my immediate goal right now. I also want to get my personal training certification and start coaching people on fitness.
Yeah, awesome.
Exercise, start making programs for people.
Maybe make a business out of that.
That's great.
As you grow and get older, and yeah, it's good. Awesome.
I think that's wise doing it this early on in your career, because while you're achieving, you can also be helping others while you're achieving. I always said the other day I was talking about how I wish I would have posted more. They didn't have, when I started my career, social media it existed, but nobody knew how to use it.
Yeah, it was like a thing in the background. It wasn't the forefront of the entire internet.
Yeah, no, seriously, you would have to text somebody and then call them and tell them you sent them a text. So it was like that part of the world. Facebook existed, but Instagram didn't exist.
Right.
But I really wish I would have documented more early on in my career, just to be able to tell a better story.
Yeah.
And really remember a lot of that stuff, because I think we're really good at forgetting the painful things, So those of you that are listening to this and you're on your way to achievement, all the stuff that you think is hard today, you're going to forget. You'll never remember it anyway.
Yeah. A lot of people tell me I post too much, but then I think, well, I wish I had more of videos of what I was doing right at the beginning, because I've only really taped about maybe 30% of me going to the gym.
Yeah.
Which probably only about 50% of it was really worth taping. But
but it's a journal.
Yeah. It's a journal.
It's really what it is, right?
I don't think it's possible to record too much. Or post too much for that matter, because I think being able to do that in your process, you go make it onto that podium, your goal, the story that goes from today to making it onto that podium, being recorded is something that is priceless, really, right? And then when you have a program where you get your personal trainer certification, you're training people, it's easy for them to go look and go, oh, look where he started and look where he is now. I probably ought to listen to this guy, So it's priceless. I think it's very wise for you to do, man.
I remember when I was in 9th grade, I deadlifted 315 for the first time, and my friend Carter, he got it on video, and I had the video for a little while. Don't know what happened to it. So I have no evidence of the first time I deadlifted 315, which makes me so angry.
Shoot.
But I do have a video from when I was 11 upstairs on the leg press machine, and I had the whole stack, except for I was short, so I was like pressing like
Still counts.
the full all the way down. It was just like
Yeah, that's awesome. So
We'll
what are you deadlifting now? So that was 315 before. What do you deadlift now?
We don't really train deadlift in weightlifting.
Okay.
That's a very specific exercise
It
for
is,
deadlift or for powerlifting.
Yep.
And most athletes don't really need to train deadlifting. The only people that need to train deadlifting are powerlifters and strongman.
So
we do clean pulls, which are a little different.
Yeah.
And but I've deadlifted 440 and which a lot of people hear that and they're like, wow, that's good. And then I'm like, but I've clean and jerked 315. They're like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Exactly.
Yeah, because clean and jerk, you're putting 315 pounds over your head.
Yeah, you bring it to your shoulder, over your head.
Yeah. I mean, putting 315 pounds over your head at 18 years old. Holy cow, dude.
That's crazy.
It's amazing. Good job, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah. Amazing.
Well, dude, it's been awesome. I think you've given a lot of advice today for, I think it'll help, a lot of the parents that are listening to this, how they can strengthen relationships with their children, advice for kids that can, get their lives towards a goal. If they're not towards that, or if they are, what are some other things that they can do to excel in their current path? It's been awesome, dude. You got a lot of wisdom for 18 years old. I think
you.
You've got a bright future ahead of you, man.
I got good parents.
Hope people are getting that message, right? I mean, that's a lot of it, right? What's happening in your home has obviously made a big impact in your life. So we've got to make sure our homes are in order. And when that happens, the rest of the life works out pretty dang good.
Yeah. There's not much better of a compliment a parent could have than what he just said.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
amen.
It's like when our kids grow up and they turn 18, 19, 20 years old and they say that, I think that's priceless, dude. It's awesome. It says a lot about your parents.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, they must be.
Yeah. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
Appreciate
for
it.
having me on.